Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In our modern time, school violence has become an alarming problem around the country, which can pose a variety of potentially serious repercussions, such as division and severe mental and physical trauma for both perpetrators and victims alike. Just take a few seconds to Google the keyword school violence on the internet. Then I am sure you will get information about this intricate matter. Ladies and gentlemen, this issue, I believe, is a reflection on a deterioration of moral values of a number of students nowadays. And today, I would like to discuss the causes and possible solutions to tackle the problem. First of all, the beginning of school violence often stems from differences between teenagers. Children are natural herd creatures and will gravitate towards people who are similar in look, mentality, and those who have the same interests. Children are natural herd creatures and will gravitate towards people who are similar in looks, mentality, and those who have the same interests. Other groups are seen as enemies, and this is where conflict begins. Second, a lack of education is another cause of school violence. If children are not taught from an early age about the consequences and wrongs of violence, there's a high chance that they will indulge in it later. Therefore, education must occur in the home, alongside parents and in the classroom. But in fact, many parents admit that they cannot talk with their children even for 10 minutes a day, just because they have too many things to deal with in this busy and materialistic world. So, how can they understand their children's innermost feelings? How can they support and encourage their children to overcome their problems? And how can they educate their children to stay away from social evils? Ladies and gentlemen, the final reason that I need to mention here is when violence does happen, a lack of will to punish the perpetrators encourages them to participate in it again. A stringent punishment says mentally and physically, violence is deleterious and therefore must be stamped out. However, allowing them to get away with it says to them they have not done anything wrong or illegal. And this thought of being innocent will continually induce them to use brutal violence against other students. Overall, to stop this issue becoming any worse is the responsibility of every family, school, and community officer. In my opinion, it is very important that the Ministry of Education and Training should implement more effective policies to ameliorate the situation. For example, some contents in the civic education subject of Vietnam, such as the philosophy and the economics, are not really appropriate and practical. Therefore, I believe that some important life skills that help students know how to protect themselves against school violence should be added to the curriculum instead. In addition, schools also play a key role in preventing violence. In my opinion, schools should do well to set up counseling rooms where students can find helpful advice on how to overcome the problems. Teachers need to develop a supportive and friendly atmosphere in the classroom. It is friendship and solidarity that should be promoted, not suspicion, jealousy, and hatred. And that's the reason why they should make an effort to raise the awareness of students by organizing more discussions and extracurricular activities. Through talking and discussing together, students can share their interests, feelings, and points of view, which greatly contributes to mitigating the problem of violence in schools. And finally, parents should be good role models for their children. They should spend more time listening to their children and assisting them to surmount the difficulties. Frequent discussions and discipline will keep young people on the right track. And I strongly believe that the total levels from responsible sides, if made suitably, can create an incredible power to make a better social environment for the future citizens of our country to develop. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Well, you spoke of the problems of violence in school, but it seems to me that in Vietnam there's a high level of domestic violence, not just in school but also in the home. Domestic, in the families, in the homes, not just the school. What effect do you think the two have together? I mean, does one create the other, or is the other a response? What's your opinion?
Okay, thanks for your question. First, I really need to mention that sometimes school violence often happens just because of very trivial things. For example, the first reason that I need to mention here is jealousy. For example, a schoolgirl wants to use violence against other girls just because they wear more fashionable clothes than her, they are dating the same boyfriend, or they are better students than her. Moving on to the next reason, I really need to mention that different backgrounds can also result in school violence. Some students are good, but some students are rich, but some are poor. So there may be some discrimination and misunderstanding between them. And this can lead to conflict and argument. And as a result, school violence is very likely to happen. And with regard to the harmful effect of the problem of school violence, I think that this can have a detrimental impact on the development of students, for the perpetrators and the victims as well. With many tension and worry about the school violence, students cannot concentrate on studying, so they may not get satisfactory results in their study. And so this can also be very negative to the future development of them as well. And that's all. Thank you very much.
But can any of this school violence be attributed to domestic violence, violence in the family or the home?
Well, I think that I agree with you to some extent that in a family, if children see their parents fighting or beating each other, they may also imitate and copy what they see in their schools and abuse violence against other students in their school as well. So I think that domestic violence can also have a detrimental influence on the students. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, board, and thank you, contestant. You may take your seat now.
To wrap up our contest today, we would like to invite a team coming from Diep Thanh Hao-12C3 Education